Renaissance. On page 33, it stated that as part of the SPDC transaction, Shell provided loan facilities for amounts up to 2.5 billion to Renaissance. Could the company please tell us the interest rate and the purpose of this loan that Shell plc provided as part of the SPDC share sale agreement? Are there any agreements that require Renaissance to sell its oil or gas production to Shell, or to first offer such production to Shell's related entities? My second question is about page 113 of the annual report, where you mentioned that the transaction has been designed to ensure that the company can continue to perform its role as operator and to meet its share of commitments within the joint venture, including health, safety, security, and environment. So far, us shareholders are not aware of funds set aside to fulfill those commitments. Are there any agreements between SPDC and Renaissance regarding the cost of decommissioning or environmental remediation activities related to these SPDC assets? And if so, when will you disclose those plans to the shareholders or make them publicly available? If you do not have the chance to answer all the questions now, we'd appreciate a written response or a follow-up meeting with both ends.
Okay, well, thank you very much, Annabella. I mean, the detail that you're asking for, it may be possible to provide some of that now, but we may have to come back to you as you described in written form. And these are perfectly reasonable requests you might have of us. Is there anything either you want to come back on now, or would you rather do it by writing and later?
Happy to clarify it now. Thank you, Annabelle. You asked a number of questions in there. So you're correct, there are some loan facilities in place over to the buyer. That is normal course of business, as one would have in many actual divestments that we would do. What is there is in terms of it's backstopped by offtake arrangements. So in other words, it's not about the interest rate, but it's about us ensuring that we lend money to the company to continue its operations. And then, of course, they get to pay down the loans by utilising high credit from people who buy the oil, whether that's us or other parties. Some of that debt gets sold down into the market, and they take third-party debt as well. So there's a range of things there. You also ask about decommissioning. And of course, yes, there are different clauses in there which relate to decommissioning, and there are, of course, loans in place or funding in place to ensure that the company can continue to maintain its ongoing business, whether that is operations, decommissioning, pensions, etc. Thank you.
Would it be possible to get more information on how much these funds are, more information on these funds that could be publicly available to the shareholders?
I think from this perspective, it's a typical transaction with confidentiality agreements in place. I think the buyer would need to be consulted on that.
Okay, thank you, Sinead. Thank you for your question. Just for all shareholders' benefit, we haven't exited Nigeria. We're still a major investor in the country through our deep water and gas businesses, but we have sold our onshore oil business our stake in the onshore oil business called SPDC to a local company called Renaissance. Okay, next question.
The next question is also coming from the